Alright, welcome to section 2 of Brickfilm Academy, where I'll be going over the brickfilm preparation process. So in this episode, or this lesson, I'm going to be going over the beginner's guide for equipment and software that you will need if you're just starting out with your brick films. So this list is not too complex, since I want it to be kind of simple and easy for those who are just getting new to brick filming, and not super expensive equipment, so you don't have to worry about purchasing all this stuff. But later down the road you can if you choose to, but right now I'm going to be focusing on the simple and cheaper options to get started. So first, simple, what you're going to need is your phone or tablet. So when I first started, or when many first started, who are very good and know how to create brick films professionally and high quality brick films, most started out by creating Lego brick films on their phone or tablet using an app known as Stop Motion Studio, which is, I believe, free on the Apple App Store. But there's also a $10 version that you'll pay for if you want to get extra effects like green screen, masking, etc., all that stuff. But nonetheless, Stop Motion Studio is probably one of the best apps for animation and for beginners in general. So I highly recommend you get that along with your phone or tablet if you're just starting out. I believe if you have a Samsung or an Android of any type, you should still have access to Stop Motion Studio, but it may be a little bit harder to find on the App Store. But other than that, you should have access. And next, what you're going to need with this, obviously, is a phone stand to prop up your video or your phone so that you don't have to hold it and so it stays still and it's not shaky. So if it's like this and it's just moving around all the time, your videos will obviously not be very easy to watch and pleasing to the eye. So you want your videos to be still and just sitting there, and then you just tap the button to take pictures. And I'll probably include a little link down below to a tutorial on how to build a phone stand out of Lego. Pretty simple. It's nothing too crazy. I've been using the same phone stand for a while now until I moved up to getting a camera. But that stand, it's worked miracles. I've used it for my phone and for my tablet, so I highly recommend using that. So I'll leave a link down below so you can learn how to build it yourself. Next, what you're definitely going to need is 2 to 4 desk lamps. If you're just starting, I'd recommend just using 2, but if you can, get 4 later down the road so it lights up your scene a little bit more and makes it more light. Like the lighting is more pleasing, I guess. So the more light you have, the more brighter your shot is and the more crisp it looks. So by getting more lamps later down the road, it will most likely help improve the quality of your films. And I highly recommend using LED light bulbs with these lamps as well, so it doesn't melt your Lego, because usually those other bulbs, I don't know exactly what they're called, but they melt the Lego and everything else that's being shot because it's so hot and produces so much heat. But these LED lights don't produce heat, which is great, and they're an awesome source of light as well. So make sure you get those as soon as possible. And sticky tack. Sticky tack is probably the most, it's a lifesaver, honestly. This stuff is amazing. Like it's literally what helps you make your videos a lot easier, I guess, so that you can keep people in place and keep your bricks in place and not have things fall over. And it really helps the brick film process become a lot smoother, and it can help you make things fly without having to do masking and stuff, which I'll go over later down the road. But sticky tack I use all the time, whether I'm using it for simple shots, very complex shots, but sticky tack will always be with you. I'll leave a link down below for that as well, and it should be down in the resources section at the bottom of this course too. So yeah, get that as soon as possible. That stuff is amazing. And lastly, I went over the animation part of Stop Motion Studio. Now you can get the app on your phone, but another app that is great for editing, I believe it comes with the iPhones by default, it's iMovie. And iMovie is probably one of the best free editing softwares that you can get just on your phone if you have an iPhone. But if you're on a Samsung or Android, I believe you can get that on there as well. But like I said, you may have to search deep into the App Store or the Google Play Store or whatever it's called. But If you don't have access to iMovie, I believe Filmora is a great alternative, so look for that if you cannot find iMovie. But that's the list for the beginner equipment and software. Nothing too complex, nothing too crazy. So I just want to do a little run through of that stuff first, so you get a little idea of what this is about. And without further ado, let's get straight into this next lesson so I can teach you more about the brick filming process.